Wow, my people, good afternoon, good evening, morning, any sound at the end of the world, whatever. I bring to una greetings in the name of God Almighty. I say hello to everyone. We give God all the glory, all the praise, all the honor for where we get a second chance for another day for make things right now in life. And we can talk about waiting they go on now. We community, waiting they go on now. We environment, waiting they go on now. The world. We are talking about issues we're pressing and we're in at the social media where we self not get no other way but for talk for. Today is Valentine's Day, February 14. 2021. Valentine's Day. Love is a beautiful language. It's a universal language. It's a language where there are different ways where how we they receive love and how we they give love. Love is a beautiful thing when it's used right. So today on Valentine's Day, I know people are celebrating their loved ones. People are giving gifts. Someone they give to and people that way they love and but some people not get Valentine's. Some people not get love. Some people think, but you have so much love around you. You have friends that care about you. You are waiting and call. This is just a thing where people then sit down for commercialize and make money out of people them, because some man go make club out their man there, their woman them, today for Valentine Day, not give me flower, not give me this, not give me that. Sometimes people not give you, but what do you give them? The women we always expect, but sometimes we don't give back to the men. What do we give to our husbands, our boyfriends, our friends, our significant other? What do we they give? It's Valentine's Day. It's a day of love. It's a day that love is celebrated. It's a universal language. So let's all share the love. Let we all celebrate love. Let we all think. But as I can always say, without Una and a VOS, without the viewers, we not go get VOS. So continue to share, continue to come, continue for can join the conversation because life is happening right now, and you are part of this. Because let we not be na the side of issue where we say if I be no, let we add with voice to the change where we want for seeing as Sierra Leone. Let we add with voice to waiting we feel say important for let we make the change where we all want to see where go able push Mama Salone go before. But until I say not to me one game Kisidoya every week, not to me one game the day I get with me as usual, me two handsome just men that are naughty that they don't spoil their loved ones them with the Valentine, Mr. Shillon, who is based in North Carolina, practicing defense attorney for over 40 years. He always can come for adding voice because not to idle we idle like we say, because we love Sierra Leone, we are giving back, we are making the impact. That's why we try for stay as middle as we can and as positive as we can for try for make the message and help the government for push the country go before. And also I get we honorary professor, we own VOS honorary professor. When are the viewer them of VOS been choose for gear and that name them, not a we grab and gear more now una gear because they been get so much knowledge where they share and people were impressed and say well, for begin call them professor. That's why we they call them professor honorary professor Kutubu Koroma instead they with we na yeah. So I'll give them small chance. Let them tell una adu. Una share to una group them please. Una share. Una call una neighbor. Call you sister, you brother, you party, you group people that say una can't let we can rub mouth because these things are important. The change that we want to see, a change begins by one voice. One voice in a room can make the change. One voice can change a room. One room can change a town. One town can change a country. One country can change the world. Change comes where people then put ideas together and push forth and stand behind, and one person not able to bring the change together. We get for support, for try for bring the change. We go benefit the masses of the people of Sierra Leone. So let person to me course them, let them tell what I do. Then we can talk on waiting and waiting. Then at the team today, we want for talk about where we don't key up say we have to talk about this. Some conversation we must have it. So Mr. Shillon, Mr. Kutubu, una tell una people there are doing a VOS.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, any part of the world where you day. As Ms. Fatima say, this now we usual Sunday broadcast what we can do at this time. We are running a little bit behind, but hopefully we will catch up. And also, happy Valentine's Day for we come out over that part of the world. Now Valentine's Day they catch up over yonder. Now me not a great believer that everything in the West now we for export to we own country. But Valentine's Day now one of the things we share because it's just a form of telling you partner, your friend of the opposite sex, or you husband or your wife, how much you appreciate the person. That you just take time because we're busy night and day, going up and down, trying to take care of life, family. We know to take a moment for say thank you or we appreciate you or you we wish you this or we wish you that. So Valentine's Day now one of the traditions then we may not get any problem for let we export back home because we grow up easier for them yeah, but it's not easy for we because we get different we get multiple or multiplicity of culture. The Fula, the Minde, the Loko, the Limba, the Koranko, everybody they express their own love to the opposite sex a different way. So, but love, regardless, I don't think you get linguistic boundary or language boundary. So when you show somebody, say you appreciate what the person do, I don't care how you say them, I don't care how you do them, not like good and bad. They come in one form. Somebody know when you do them good, somebody know when you do them bad. So when you show somebody, say you appreciate it and do it, like you know, hear the language, you will still appreciate them. So not a bad culture, what we don't adopt back home or what we try for send back home. You know, we for always adopt the good things and the bad one, then we know the help with system and we for left suffer. So I'm glad for being on board again with Miss Fatima and Professor Kutubu. I hope at the end of the day we'll go learn from each other as the program is geared towards we all talking, discussing, suggesting, in a way we're not doing at the program because we get all the ideas. We're doing at the program so by encouraging others for come on board and talk about which and see wrong and which and things say the country needs. So thank you.
I will therefore associate myself with all the remarks of the two very able and distinguished colleagues them, and I will also want to say happy Valentine's Day to all. And with the hope say by God power we all will come today and we're not in waiting the care country go before and so how they go. So thank you guys again and back to you in the studio.
Well, my people, they wanna thank you. We didn't come again. We don't come again. I'm in social media and I'm waiting hot na the social media. We are not the traditional media, but we they try for bring to una the things them because this platform was created by Mr. Kago and Mr. Tarali. Then Sidom then say we get for bring thing where the diaspora themselves will be part of the conversation. And trust me, they are listening, they are hearing, then they hear we, then they come, some not agree come again because they're not able to stand the heat. But we have to ask the tough questions. Then we go first to Corona as the world they go through this pandemic. The world don't hurt by this pandemic. People they don't lost their life, they don't lost their livelihood. Mrs. and Master, then they fed speaking, then they commit suicide, a whole bunch of things where emotionally don't drain people them. But we go say we all they hold on, we hold on to hope where we tell God thank you for that. And the one that we don't die and the one that we don't lose, some people don't lost their job. The homelessness in America, it is so I'm telling you, it's not even funny. You see people them they don't get stifled, they don't lose their home, there are no jobs. People that we don't get businesses for 50 years, within their family line, everything don't wipe out by this corona. It don't damage boku people their life. But you know, one day at a time, we still get hope. Inside Sierra Leone, we tell God thank you because the corona did it. Let us not fool and say corona no did it. Yes, sometimes The beginning will all me, they say, how corona go there under this, that. But corona day, corona they go by where they go inside it. That's why the NACOVAC, they don't put their law. Say, because the World Health Organization say, let me wear mask. Let we try for members. Africa, Salone, we not able social distance. Down there on you go inside Kissy Street when I Bacha Street, you go inside Duff Court, you go inside Salad Ground, you go Lumley, you go any side. You gonna then cool them. You gonna then slum them. Where them people then they over themselves. 5, 10 people they inside one room and then they sleep, then they breathe the air. It takes the grace of God where it save we from corona, where it not devastate. 79 lives don't lost, but then 79 and every single one important. We not they take lightly saying 79 no more 79 people. Now people they will get family where they add up to them. So now we do we own part for try for save we country for letting know waiting and concept. Then there's here so we don't hear read the news but Guinea. Ebola don't come back. Ebola don't begin at Guinea. Ebola don't begin at Guinea. And we did neighbor. We know say we country we don't get Ebola before, and it killed thousands of people. Ebola not they kill like how corona they kill. Or Ebola you get a no more die they die. Corona some people and they will get away not die. Tell God thank you for that. But so we get for be vigilant, we get for be careful, we get for take care of yourself, because now you get for take care of yourself. The government go do it on, but you self as a human being, you take care of yourself, for preserve yourself, for make them think that they don't meet we, and we left all the rest to God, because everything. The future not in our hand. It's all about chance. It's all about trying to do waiting and say for do, and left the rest to chance, left the rest to God, left the rest to whatever the universe hold for you. So I mean, we are just appealing to we Sierra Leoneans them. We where they go, especially do ya let we remember for we people them, let we wear mask. The one they say where they una self try for wear the mask because they don't believe in Ebola. But we were on there and then country we don't see corona. I mean, but we were on there and then country we don't see this. We get for do for try for preserve and protect with people them. So now that day I get for talk on the corona and the Ebola we don't jump. So I don't know if me co-host then get anything where they get for talk on that day, but when I continue to share, let more people come, look and get the discussion, because we have to talk about issues and we get for talk up, So Mr. Shilo, Mr. Tubo, anyone pounder, I don't know if you want to add but the corona talk.
Well,
And
the only thing
before
we
we
go
move
add,
to the waiting and closing.
the only thing we go add, when we hear say Ebola they next door, we for taken serious. But we with tendency in Sierra Leone, and as some of the deep sense of urgency and responsibility for the instilling we always think say thing will happen to other people and we know what happen to we. We see that happen with the war. Before the civil war came, the recent civil war came in Sierra Leone, it began in Liberia for a while. Now we now try for keep her out as we should until they come across the border and destroy a lot of lives and property and the economy. And then Ebola come. When Ebola come again, the next door, we now take the necessary, the active, proactive approach. Till it come over and begin for devastate we. Now Corona will get that, and we see say it affect we also. Sometimes now we for be less concerned with making money and be more concerned with preventing hazard and destruction, or because even with Corona now, what's going to happen, money is being made, charging people coming in, people going out. When that for be the least of our worries, but $40 here, $80 there. But the primary concern for be about trying for prevent the disease. So please, what you say Ebola don't know which day begin for kill people them, and like Miss Fatima say, Ebola in your way is different. When it come, it just sweep along the way where it meet. They get second chance. So let we try our best for take the announcement in this serious. And I will hope the government go begin for do public service announcements. The Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Ministry of Information, and now they for engage in public service announcement telling people about Ebola being in the area and to be careful. Now which day it begin for devastate one area or the entire country. Okay? That's all I have to say on this one.
And to you, Professor, do you have any add up to it, Udoyeri?
Well, just like we to not talk, and particularly Mr. Shilon, education will be a key thing to this year. So awareness for letting people understand say this now not to play business. Then are both the Ebola within at the junction because me go and call us in a junction at the boundary. And then of course the I call on the corona. Yesterday I seen a video. The Inspector General of Police has seen the Jai he married. See a lot of people in the again. You see the violation of the protocol which surround the corona. You know, the good number of the people that women they not been given us a good inside the church. Repeatedly, people are being told you cannot congregate. This in fact, America they even in China for see if we could double the mask. Now the water where they come over the for double the mask and they work on that for loading. So when you see them people in there, they live that kind of engage in any kind of cynical recklessness, you they wonder, well, hold on. Now they go out of ignorance or really na mock una they make of this year or na they because I was shocked for see the Inspector General of Police. Then nobody else said the man not married their own data. But I think if we find a way with the winner, just a small number would did it, but they go get large number. So we don't know who that day, the next person they near you, we get you don't know. So all of this, so now make the education are very important. Stressing this is very important. The government need for the on top of this, the how they call them whatever the outreach is and they get for educating. But you the person you yourself get for also take precaution. Because no matter how much the government talk say, you yourself for take precaution. So but we now by God power, we would help more there, we would send a message. Say we are now you know no more the people able to address una. So Lord pray God waiting not happen in Guinea. Let you not come back to una because no to go to a devastation. Let government let the people in Guinea be able to handle this year so you know go pray another. So with that I hand back the thing to una.
All right. Thank you so much. Una let we take thing like I can always say. God say with long life it will satisfy we. But you get for do your part. You get for meet God halfway. You not just sit down. You not do the work. Let we try for preserve we life. Let we try for preserve other people their life as best as we can, and left the rest to God, to chance, to the universe, whatever you call it. That's on you. I mean, it is not my business. You know, I get my own salvation in my own way, and you find your own way. How you find them, regardless. We see in social media, we don't get this buzz on Mr. Chernobyl. Mr. Chernobyl come out and put a whole bunch of accusation the way he get say the first lady, and he talk of other people, and but he talk of the first lady in office, and the first lady is getting money from the government in post. The first lady they get money, and we read the interview what the first lady say before trade, it don't tell we say they get 1 cent from waiting that they give governments not they get 1 cent. They not they even pay them. They not get no money, they do nothing with salon money, they not get no way for get salon money. But now we're trying about come out with this thing also, Mr. Chernobyl of the African Express. He bring the case can before we say we first lady don't get up to $2 million where it don't use for in personal business and personal affairs, when not for government business in Bila. The noise was loud. They do interview, the government's not one talk, but now they come out they talk. We get Mr. Emmanuel Ali and Mr. Fode Morris last week. We talk on the issue. Mr. Emmanuel Ali defend Mrs. Bio, he talk boku boku. Now we see Now they come out, they talk. All right. But there was a conversation where really baffled all of we. There's a young man by the name of Mr. Cole. Mr. Cole, they work na a bank na Sierra Leone, the Union Trust Bank, SALONE, and then puts na social media. Something was on social media where he respond to, and the same talk where they say Mrs. Bio don't take money. So he respond. He said, no need, we want investigation on the publication. Is it true, or if it's true or not, there must be an explanation why money was given to the First Lady without the approval of Parliament. This man is a citizen of the country. President Mada Bio promised we new direction. President Mada Bio say it don't pull the libel law against the journalist. The citizens are free to criticize as long as they know they use libel for defame. The people, they don't come out, this young man, and they mind the business, but as a citizen, he open mouth and talk. The First Lady he go answer to the Mr. Cole. He said, Mr. Cole, I don't need that phone to fly. I've been flying way before now. You must see my post and not get involved. How you connect Pami post? They ask him, this thing where he puts na social media. Well, First Lady, he addicted to social media. And this is, he gave a land example from President Trump of America. Because social media and what they put out there, it destroy we. But we feel say right now we are the high and mighty. Now nobody know they tell we nothing we are, because we all know all that. But this First Lady tell, like me, I don't pull me much they safe now. Let do anything where you feel for do. Because the president what we elect, now in West where they don't every day obey. If he allow our one on me on day, let it talk. But when it talk, let it not say it then at the crossfire. When you put yourself as a target on the range, on the war front, guess what? They're gonna shoot at you. I don't care. They're gonna shoot at you. And when people then they shoot, send a mask for kill. Send a mask when you shoot the word where you give, and they give you back. And when they train you in the army, send a mask, shoot to kill, because when you kill the enemy, you know they come back at you. So she put herself out there, and this young man engaged Mrs. Fatima Bio on this thing also. Next thing you know, in boss call an office, then get a conversation. They say in boss tell her, say, look like me, and you know they see one side. So therefore, come on at me office, go, blah, 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 according to Mr. Cole, blah, 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 blah. Then get conversation back and forth. Now in bank manager and at the UT bank, this morning is Saga, not this morning, but even they call because of the several abuse, and he puts the letter out there for we see. This is right. That is the question we get for. Are we as citizens free for do something where for speak what in the pertain to we life and we right now we country? Does the citizen have the right for speak way? Not for what in the bank in guidelines, rules and regulation, any SOP and the stuff they with they inside the order of operation. What in the bank say? The bank don't tell us say he involved, but this is a communication where this young man gets. So we have to ask the question: do the citizens of Sierra Leone has the right for pull their money come on at that bank and boycott the bank because a citizen now we they go put we money inside them bank then they now we money that they use for make money for themselves. They keep whether they go keep the money for you, then they use them for do investments, get loans and turn over them and then get profits inside it. So the question is if the citizens have get right, because if a citizen not get right for ask a question, because they don't take the money where for go to the welfare of the citizens. So if you ask the question, therefore your boss should fire you. Everything is politics in Sierra Leone. Everything has been politicized. Politics. Everybody they try for be favorite, the principal's favorite. Therefore they get for act. If Fatima Bio put himself in the crossfire, The boy has the right, Mr. And right now as I speak, there's a GoFundMe page where Sierra Leonean, a lady here somewhere in America or in the diaspora, has put together, because this man has family to feed and not do nothing wrong. All he did was engage the first lady. And the first lady, there's a tweet out there, there's a post out there where the first lady said, "You want cost this morning?" That is our first lady. That is our first lady. Our first lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, even though now they don't get 2,100 and something. So una let we go support them. If not $5 una put inside it, una put a let we help with brother. Because right now he has a family. In life don't shatter just because he speak out. Who is next? Let we not say because not we own today, we not be seen there. Who is next? Who that next it go happen to? Where the court of arm of Sierra Leone, it provide unity, freedom, and justice for all. And one of the things then they have freedom of speech. We forget the right for exercise, we as human beings, because the British court of arm, I think he said God and right. I think, una correct me, they want the way they are the British, European, whatever. I think he said God, whatever I mean in Latin, but he said God and my rights. That's what the court of arms stand for. Where them been put on there, where they make them for we, then put with 2 lions in there, then put the 3 and touch them there, and waiting they say they want for we in Sierra Leone, and waiting with forefathers they agree to, and waiting the people that make the agreement. It say unity, freedom, unity in our word, freedom. That means you get the God's given right for be able, for be free, and the justice if for God the scale for balance to everybody. But why? For the longest time, and this administration will promise we good ones say they bring new direction, then they do them thing they are today. Mr. Salone people, then Mr. Shilon, you're not lawyer. I don't present the case to you, sir. I don't present the case.
Well, first of all, we talk about constitutional issue now. Whether a private citizen or not even work for a government entity has a right to express an opinion about an official of the government or a non-official of the government, but connected with the government. In this case, we talk about the First Lady. Whether that individual, they get the power, get the right for express how we feel. Well, several things, and then we understand, say the person was sacked because in boss say we do not see one place. We not see eye to eye. Well, I find that strange in the sense that where you hire the person, I'm not sure, but I would like to know if part of Union Trust Bank, then policy, now you political affiliation or your political views in Sierra Leone, if they're not be part of the interview for the job. And if that wasn't part of it, I don't know if it not be important then, I don't know why it's important now. And 2, why will a bank official or the CEO think say everybody will work in a bank for get the same political view or affiliation as him? So first of all, you're realistic for how about that kind of thing there? And then second of all, it's unfair because this is just using undue pressure on employee because you're not the boss. And also, this not for even rise to the level of whether the government get the power. Now, if the boy be there in violation or the bank not get the power for do that, if he be there in violation of some bank policy, where I also don't look, I don't see any side, anywhere, any section, except one section where they may try for court, but no, we not even reference anything about political views or expressions. The bank not get any, the only way you go sack somebody you get for sure say it all commit within then go say in English egregious, extreme, terrible behavior on the job, we get adverse or bad effect on the job. I don't see the bank come up with that. The bank not show any regulation or rule on the job. We require that if you violate them, where this person don't violate, the consequence will be termination of employment. The bank not come up with that. And two, the other constitutional, because this borders on the freedom of expression, where the Constitution give everybody, okay? And the interesting thing is Union Trust Bank, not to bank like even commercial bank, that is, or even Rokel Bank. These banks are banks that the government own part of. As far as I understand, the current CEO is mostly the owner of Union Trust Bank, but it's a wholly private operation. So that being the case, I don't see why political expression could be construed to be a contradiction to policy where the existing government get. So the freedom of expression, the bank grossly abused that, and so I am in agreement with the people that want to take the stand for say the fellow not deserve that. The other aspect of the violation, I'm sure by implication, if not by express way, the Constitution of Sierra Leone also grant everybody what you call due process. That is the procedure by which, and we will talk some more about that when we go to demolish the Austin. The procedure by which government for always give, or authorities for always give you what you call due process, the opportunity for defend yourself, for express yourself, for do what you get for do in self-defense. In this case, the guy was summarily terminated without an opportunity to give an expression, because what I read is say when try for telling boss, and boss say he was not interested in that. They are not seeing eye to eye. He got to go. So there is violation of due process, which if the constitutional express now any part of the Constitution is implied, because you cannot get smooth operation of law without due process. So there, you get almost two violations, constitutional violation in due process right, as well as in freedom of expression. So I'm in agreement with that. But I think the only good thing women support with the public, they make a lot of noise about, is the fact that private companies for minding your own business, not to them job for being for monitor people and expression. In fact, I don't think it's anybody's job. I think, but if somebody overstep in bounds, say something we violate the law, I mean, that person, they get rights for sue the person. If the person engage in some falsehood, deliberate falsehood. So that said, I think, I hope Union Trust Bank and other banks, even banks like commercial banks, Rocket banks, even the Central Bank, Bank of Sierra Leone, they all get for no say. They not get the right for pressure employees them from speaking their mind, as long as waiting and they say no get any effect, good or bad, on the job what they do on their work description. Then for be free for saying about the employers then can prohibit certain speeches for say when you're then at the job, they can make rules to that effect. We don't want political discussions because you can't hire for work. So once you're on the clock, on with time, please leave out all political discussions, and then when I go for define, which in a political discussion, is talking about, if you do work for Union Trust Bank, you talk about Donald Trump and Congress, You know, it's a political discussion. It's that kind of speech that when I say not for engaging, but the bank can get away. And that's why they get lawyers. They will set rules as to what kind of speech and when and where these things can be said. But for those blanketly say no, you can't say anything, particularly when in contradiction, not necessarily even disrespectful to an official. In this case, the first lady, you will lose your livelihood. I think that is wrong. That's
Okay,
what I
Professor.
have to say.
You said lawyer. Thank you so much, Mr. Shillon. Mr. Koma Kutubu, Professor. There. You don't hear we don't hear all the noise. We don't hear all the case. We don't hear and I see we Sister Matilda, the one of the presenter now, the right say they had a section 24, I think section 24. I don't lost the read right now. It said section 24 whatever, and it was used wrongly of the handbook because somebody asked and say waiting at the law and waiting at the handbook, and Matilda, because I
Well, the
think she did a
handbook
show
now,
on Friday.
yeah, but the
Yeah.
section 24, when in CITA, it says nothing about prohibition about free speech or
Yeah.
against the government official. You know, even
Okay.
speak to that. So
So
the section
so
not even bear any relevance. The section with the bank site not get any relevance to the purpose for which the man was sacked.
okay,
You
Mr.
know,
Masa Kutubu, waiting are
Well,
your what are your
well, what you
addition we
mean?
want to produce or take away from
Those
this? Yes.
VOS be non invest me with professorship. Then put that be respect for me, put that gown on me. So about time I show me audience say VOS not be like they not be in the joke when they say you will make you professor now. So I they take a professorial role this time in this discussion as well. Where it will be a form of lectures. Within the 16th and 17th century, we been getting European leaders, monarchs, them they exercise a lot of power, plenty power, big power, very unchecked. Okay. So waiting two people they do. One have been the great French jurist when they call Charles the Secondant or Baron Montesquieu. They get the other guy we in England, we name John Locke. Now, of course, that be an English philosopher. So what they sit down do, they sit down for say, you know what? This kind of excess power where leaders then they exercise on a society, not good for a society. So what they do, when they divide the power them, when they get one branch where they and a law no more than they make one branch and their own job. We'll get another branch where that then will they just carry out the laws them way then they make now, where they make now. They'll get another branch where their own job now for interpret this or communicate to get stuck. Now for interpreting lawyers so. So if I from yonder you get the Magna Carta where all kind to be we guarantee constitutional liberties there for citizens. Now for bringing this Lily talk home, I want to bring her home for apply to this. All of the TRO they see so you go to the bar case, you go to this, you go to that, it emanates in one thing. And today I've been discussing with my distinguished colleague, Mr. Shillon. So now one thing is possible now, and we get one way we go resolve this thing. Anyhow we go, the one thing we're responsible for that, the sort of constitution we'll get na SALONE, now in the causative agents of all of them TRO they see at the country. Dictatorship, over use of power, anything where they even they encroach on the fundamental preserves of even the society itself. This now the canker worm, this we don't eat deep into the fabric of things now society. So therefore, for example, when you look with constitution, and I know say Mr. Shilo, the of stage of that, when I was say one side of the government will get too much power over the rest to the extent the rest will not become very irrelevant. So now the only way where you are there, as long as you get the support of any president where they in power in a saloon, they become the you said you go do anything we want in the country, anything. Once you get the support of a sitting president under this constitution, also, you go in. So then begs the question: so how we go get ourselves out of this existential crisis? We don't actually envelop the nation. How we go get ourselves out of them? I did tell anybody this. We what we can do. The only way we will get ourselves out of this problem is we get two things that we'll get for do. Any other people they look at. We really we get for embrace ourselves for accept the American Constitution, and then we decide for say it go binding or we all go submit to them. Why I say so? I give you now just quick examples as I wrap up. We where they follow political history in this country, I wouldn't fall for long. We see the saga we play out in the Watergate affair. Mr. Richard Nixon was nowhere close to the Watergate complex. He not be needed. Na Virginia Avenue. He not be needed. He be sit down at the Oval Office, the White House. He not be needed. He not sweating him. But guess what? At the end of the day, now he lost his job. For one thing, because by the evidence we emerge right inside the innermost recesses of the government power, now they direct crimes. And once all the investigation, people like Bob Woodward, Calvin Steen, and all they find out, so, oh yes, the president not be needed, but he helped commit crime, he fostered crime, he encouraged crime. So he lost his office August 9, 1974. Mr. Richard Nixon was out of power. Fast forward, we don't just wait what happened to Mr. Donald Trump. The only thing we saved Mr. Donald Trump from being thrown out of office, that the votes when they not did, that the votes not be needed. But they had established a copy of evidence where actually you say Mr. Trump, he did this, you are aware. So in other words, what you are trying for talk, we go talk about the problems in a salon every now and then. The climate of blame we go put on here, we go put on there because the way we in a kind of reverse way, where SFPP camp and power, APC go bring all infractions of principle. Reverse the where APC second to power, SFPP go raise all kind of adults on them. So some of we don't get tired of that politics. Wait till we look for the prophylactic measures. Where would they advocate? How do we get ourselves out of this? The only way we'll get let we endeavor forget a constitution where binding on everybody, meaning that everybody they under the constitution, not to up from the presidency candle. Yeah. Now me will reply that to that issue there.
Yeah. Okay, let we left that issue there. Let we come to other one because you make a point where you say everybody, because it's like one side. And again, I talk, and that's why I bring today with coat of arm, let them put her again for we. They say unity, freedom, and justice for all. We see what thing happen. We get the ACC boss, okay? The ACC boss is a man I really get hoping say we go fight corruption and we go fight corruption to way and nobody, because in a word, we person give you word and everything to your word is everything. And Mr. Benfala don't see them several times to we what we don't ask him. He say nobody is a sacred cow, nobody is exempt, nobody is what they call the only person where you know go investigate, because the constitution allows say and right say where the presidents they in office, they not go investigate until after he come out office. So it's not the only person, but anybody else, not the wife of the president, not the this, not the that, not whoever is able to do. But now the cry on social media is with a cry foul. A lot of we Sierra Leoneans, they cry foul on social media, say Mr. Ben Kelfala, it look like say it fail the Sierra Leone people. Because Mr. Ben Felfala, where this case begin, where Umar Fofana been forced scam, it talks say then still there for this audit business here, it go gets to like it's no sense of urgency, go get to away, get to Now me they put the urgency inside there because when Mr. Ben Kelfala, the chief minister in case been come up, I want to remember this. When the chief minister in case been come up, Mr. Ben Kelfala been there out of country. Quick. He don't do investigation. quick. You don't say the chief minister not get bank accounts na the bank who say this journalist ask a question, say, is it true that this is going on? I'm about to publish and take and to print. But he run with the ball out of the country. Phone calls. He called. We say, yeah, Mr. Benkefala, they're doing work. But this journalist, poor journalist, he was taken to CID, intimidated, detained, and all that kind of stuff, and the case died. Now the case of the first lady don't come. Mr. Benkefala, I hope, me only hope for Sierra Leone, we say we dey fight corruption, because corruption, I don't kill we. I don't hold we back. I don't stop we. Pikin then they die, mama then they die, then pikin then not there with them again. We pikin then not get it for it. Titi people them look at the thing about our prostitutes, Sierra Leone pikin then now then they trade them, then they kill them go other country, then they sell them body for lidom for able for afford mondo for them and family and then people they we don't all we not able to do nothing. This is all because of corruption. And there's an allegation against the first lady. But then Mr. Benkefala come, and this is what he tell we. Unale will play the interview to Umaru Fofana. This is what Benkefala tell we. And I mean, so this is a man I so respect. So it's my hope. What's in call Namiyai, it done, or the struggle continues with no hope, or should I still be hopeful? This is what Mr. Benkefala say. Una yeri for una self.
I don't know if you remember, but last week we ran a report about accusations of impropriety in the way in which state money was used to finance the office of the First Lady of Sierra Leone. It was based on a report of a US-based publication, the African Express. The First Lady, Fatima Madabio, answered those allegations, denying wrongdoing in an interview with Umaru Fofana, and referred us to State House for further explanation.
Every First Lady before me, when they want something, they go to State House and they write. The office of the First Lady is part and parcel of the presidency.
So you're sure that all the procurements that happened legally, procedurally?
Like I said, those are questions that only the office of the president can answer.
Now, State House officials were unwilling to comment at the time, but it seems that things have taken a turn, because now Francis Ben Kaifala, who is in charge of the Anti-Corruption Commission, has started investigating the matter, and is not confining it to just the current First Lady. Umaru Fofana has been speaking to Mr. Kaifala.
Various allegations have come up in recent times, particularly captured in the audit report, but more so on social and traditional media concerning funds that were allocated to that office and how they were used. So it came to our attention, and we are trying to do a probe to understand what happened.
Tell me about the scope. Why have you decided to stretch it beyond the last 3 years, which is a period covered by these allegations?
When we started the probe, we realized that various payments may have been made to other First Ladies before her, particularly the immediate past First Lady, in volumes that require, at least for us to look into it, to establish properly the foundation upon which those payments were made, and to see how it led into other payments or disbursements to the current First Lady, so we can be able to have what we call a systemic understanding of the issue and make a systemic recommendation rather than isolated ones.
Shouldn't you have concerned yourself with the current allegations which border around the current First Lady, Mrs. Fatima Bio?
That is the point. We are concerned about current allegations, but it's a systemic issue. If you do not broaden the investigation to understand foundational issues even before her coming into office, it becomes too targeted, will lead you not to really professionally come up with conclusions that are optimal for the country.
Are you concerned about public perception that this is a way of squaring things up, trying to look around for more evidence of implicating the previous First Lady?
Well, we recognize what the public may say or what their views are, but they gave us the responsibility to perform, and we have to stick to to that responsibility. We have to do things within our mandate, and our mandate is to investigate past, current, and future corruption. Therefore, we believe that we are doing what we can do professionally, and it is only when we open it up that we will be really capable of reaching an optimal conclusion for the good of the country.
The general view, from what I've gathered, is that concern yourself with the allegations that are on floor right now with evidence and not trying to do whataboutism.
People may have their views, but if you are appointed in a position like the one that I am occupying, you need balance. And balance requires that you do what is optimal professionally within your mandate, irrespective of what the public view is. Good conscience, and you have a clear sense of direction.
Your tenure as head of the Anti-Corruption Commission has received a huge acclaim, both locally and internationally. Are you concerned that going with this as you are now, you may just lose face both here and abroad?
Well, I believe that the office itself can have controversies. We don't believe we will ever lose face because we are doing what is right. And of course, challenges present us opportunities to perform even better and to command more public interest. So I take this more as a challenge and an opportunity than for me to lose face.
If you see the smoking gun, will you indict the current First Lady?
Our mandate includes indictment. We cannot say that at this stage. We will just focus on doing the probe as we have informed the public about.
Are you your own man, or are you taking instructions from some quarters?
I've always been my own man, and one thing I respect the current president for is really that he does not interfere with accountability issues. Like all presidents, he may want to understand one or two issues. I think I enjoy a very good autonomy, and it's helping us to produce the results that we are producing for the country and positioning us better in global indexes and surveys on corruption.
Francis Ben Kaifala, Anti-Corruption Commission chairperson, speaking to Umaru Fofana in Sierra Leone.
Well, unadoyeri the ACC boss. Unadoyeri the concern the Umaru Fofana don't ask all the question. They will not get for ask the question again. But we they try for see what in this man go do, because this man it don't date before for lead movement. He's saying a progressive Sierra Leonean. And again, I remind you now, say we coat of arms, say unity, freedom, and justice for all. This not look good, but unala we listen again. What's in the Minister of Information talking at 98.1, but this case because two now remember say what we been play last week when we do the interview. They say nobody no one can talk now. Then they come out for talk. So now listen Rado Soiree in on talk where he talk na 98.1. What he say but this same case here.
Over quickly to the Minister of Information and Communication. Earlier, you be done state government's position for so now for allow the ACC for do them work, but are aware about disbursements where they go to the office of the First Lady for activities them where the office they undertake. You say on aware about this disbursements. I remember the last time we been host the First Lady Naya where it come from directly for say in office not they get money from government. So how on aware about disbursements? Where the current First Lady be don't state na this same studio say in office not they receive money from government.
Now official position of government I don't state, right? And for let anybody characterize government as doing nothing about denting, I think say a quite very unfair. This is not the first government in recent times who they open itself up to public scrutiny. I mean we clearly understand that. I don't hear my colleague they talk about GTT report, COI. Unfortunately, what would they feel for note what they talk about in there, we not they look at the mandate, the scope of the COI, the scope of the GTT. The COI being specific. Persons who have been presidents, right? Persons who have been vice presidents, ministers, heads of this, that. So the scope being clear. Again, I will still be very reluctant to get drawn into this, but the fact of the matter remains, even the audit report, what they talk about, when the audit report come out this year, the Ministry of Finance been very clear. They write to all people that already receive money from government, say, look, we'll give you 3 weeks for respond to the inquiry here and for address the key issues raised by the audit, right? So, I mean, this is a learning government where there are challenges with the land. But few things that we're not for escape, now the facts say, A, I reaffirm, we note say this was then disbursements they are very legally done. They're very legally done using section 39(1) of the Public Financial Management Act of 2016. And so the rest of the granular details where they talk about how much and how they use the money, we all in SALONE know one of the biggest campaigns where they now launch in recent times in the hands of our gas, gender-based violence campaigns and all that.
So another question, Mr. Minister.
So without, and this is going to be my last word on this, sorry, any other thing the ACC will talk about that. So for every other detail, whether all other details, like amounts involved, all the issues here, that one didn't have the reason with the anti-corruption.
But people don't go look for no at this time again. The missing link.
Government position is that with the reaffirmed commitment to transparency and accountability, the president gets a huge appetite for that kind of thing. So that make we welcome the ACC position, and as always, then get the free hand for do what is right. Government on part, the financial sector be not right to everybody for let them make sure then take necessary actions for address the audit queries there.
So
even punitive sanctions hanging over the ministry, including, the Ministry of Finance, the SSF.
So, Mr. Minister, again, I want to ask, who side the money they go, not Yenga, who side the money they go, where you say disbursements they go to the First Lady office, but again, I want for state to say the First Lady be don't talk now for himself, see, and not they get support from government.
Well, me don't talk for government now government position now and then.
All right.
Well, unadai agree with brother Mr. Rado Soare, the Minister of Information. It speak now the voice of the government. It don't come. He say yes, then they give money. Any other thing unakera ngoyanda, but they don't come because we been say last week, Mrs. Fatima Bio don't throw the office of the president under the boss. Now, no ask me who say they pull money. Then at the end, when I go ask them, me no sabi, me just the right letter, and it brings here Kuruma. And I see a tweet where the former president Anes by Kuruma say, they are ready, they're willing, they're open to any investigation of his wife, Mrs. Yakuruma, and blah 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 blah. So we dey watch and see, because we only hope right now na ACC, and ACC promise we, and we not hear the government don't reaffirm, it don't make them back, it don't give we in word say, then they part transparency, accountability, because now that message that they be sell to we, when they sell to we, when we buy as Sierra Leoneans, when we say we want the change, we go push, we go before. So we dey watch now, all the eye now they pa Mr. Ben Kelfala, because Commissioner Ben Kelfala now in now, but if they take the case go over yonder first, where the people of Sierra Leone say the urgency is now, and this is the case on the ground. So now pass on to you first, Professor Kutubu. What's in you think as Mr. Ben Kelfala, the way they handle this case? Not to say it is bad to go back. We always want for fed anybody who gets salon money. We want for FENA. But from when they don't begin fend this money, they don't only get 2 million and change. They not tell we who that don't pay, who that not pay. This commission of inquiry, boku money we spend, boku time we spend per commission of inquiry. But 30 they will not profit yet by this commission of inquiry. Now then they tell we say the Auditor General reports we don't come out, then we don't say this, then we don't say that. But we they go back first, begin back for waste time more again. Follow address waiting then at the table right now. So that pass on to you, sir. Let yourself add you much sense to this one also.
When we start this conversation today, I make sure say I restrict myself to the constitutional operation of the country. Now I expand and again, and they make sure say I restrict the discussion to the First Lady, the hoopla we go around that. It is not so much that to me, the First Lady really, in the scheme of things, that I really not even there for put any premium on that, because for one thing, it's so clear to everybody. He hold a very unelective office. Nobody no elect him. I mean, account since nobody no elect him, so obviously accountable to anybody. Here is also the problem. Here's the people that hold the whole accountable for her. Foremost the chief minister, and then the Minister of Finance, and 2 people there. Now, the chief minister for understanding the office of first lady na an extension of the executive branch of the government, meaning that there has to be roadmaps, there has to be guidelines, there has to be guard rates as to how this office operates. One, the staffing for be done by the government, not to even the first lady. Now the government therefore staff the office. Now the government of the United States staff the office of the first lady. Matters of budget, all of them saying at no time should there be any time where the first lady go come in contact with physical money. There should be no time when they open another account for them. No time. If totally unheard of. We get a central accounting system, meaning we get a central financial arrangement where the Treasury Department now meaning that everything where the office of first lady need, that thing that where go be adding column by the appropriate agency. Me and you know we know what they call a GSA, the General Services Administration. That even goes for Mr. Biden. Mr. Biden, nobody know they go get money go sign Mr. Biden in the office. Everything where in one another office, the government of the United States they put on it, so no go touch no money. And I want. We also get for information this cash culture, everything are money cash culture. Also, that's a part of the corruption that the country again with that cash. Now, when they take all their money, then they go give the first lady, say, oh, you for example, we say they buy furniture, 1 term, 2 term, 3 term, the same thing. All of those things, and they are part of them. So we would have really hold accountable now. The chief minister and the minister of finance then give rise to waiting don't happen so. Because if they support the guide rates the way they in place, make sure say this officer, the woman understands say this officer an extension of Naya and everything where they do Naya, you not go exist all by yourself Naya. We get controls in that if they may not we not go those how it is so. I don't see the first lady they drive government motoka, official government motoka inside a convoy. Nobody know they for say, oh no, you cannot do that. In the ahead of the convoy, but now this a government motoka in the drive. No way, no the way, not even President Bion cannot drive government motoka. He go sit down inside it, but he not go drive them. Let alone in while they drive government issue motoka. No, you cannot. All of that. But all of this thing we talk, the genesis of that year or the antecedents to that year come from the fact that we get a constitution where put too much power upon the president, nobody know the executive office. So anything they do that, once you okay with the executive office, nobody know they don't go question them. Even like question Mr. Benkefala, so let not forget see, now the president now give Mr. Benkefala the job. Or just like any other ACC boss or any other people there. Common sense will tell anybody say, if that man they nine you a job, nine you that job there, I mean, for come go after your vested interest, but if we get a constitution with a guarantee, regardless of what you have, you're go to Sinaya, where anybody can go, go once you use the constitution for go after, the people then, that's good. But in the absence of that CND, so to me, the argument now again, the way where they sum up now, again, every time they talk, this is even when the minister they talk, so he kind of hesitant when they talk. The only answer to this now, we forget system, laws of structure, wait till the United States, we go make all arms of government work, where people then go they check on one another, then they cross check, cross make and all that. Other than that, when eventually President Bio then go out of office, the next leader will come, now the same thing will continue. So back to you, man.
Yes, sir. I do want to bring one thing for we. I ask the question and it ponder on my mind and it ask Sierra Leone and themselves will get for ask ourselves the question. Are we really serious? Forget the change where we want for see. A whole bunch of we just to do lip service. And when we young turn come, at the same number, the same circle, the same merry-go-round circle, Mr. Shilon. With ACC boss, a very learned man where I really admire and where I've been get hope. I say, I'm still hopeful, but my hope is fading away. My hope slowly they fade away. That We are not ready. Sierra Leoneans are not ready. Sierra Leone is not ready to go forward. I don't know how you see this. What in your own sense where you go put for this here, but are we really ready? We really want the change? Because we go down the line of tribalism, we go down the line of politics that has divided us. Even when you don't speak the truth, you stand up to speak truth to power. You get people then, because of not them tribesman, because of not them party, then go come after you, then go just frustrate the crap out of you. And if you're a weak person, because that's Darwin. Darwin said the weak will perish and then the strong will survive. And people come out there and they stand out, and this 1% of time after time coming and taking over. And we, the farmers of Sierra Leone, we are the people. We don't know our power, we don't know our might, we don't know our strength. We don't understand. Until we get that right, Mr. Shilonsa, I don't know what you go say about that, but until we get it right, until we get that concept and understanding, say it is, we have the power, we the people, and stop putting people after people after people, politicians after politicians. They sell all kind of vision to us. Because we have no hope, we have no right, we don't believe in ourselves. We just put anybody, anywhere, anytime. 60 years coming, April 27. We're still going in a merry-go-round where the world, they left we behind, and Africa is still down that Big Bang theory. We're still there inside that dark hole. We're not able to come inside it. I pass on to you, sir.
All right. As an extension of what Mr. Kuruma say and what you say about the power of the people, you know, it's true. Because there are different kinds of democracies. But I think to some extent, we on democracy is patterned alongside of the American type of democracy. The American democracy make the Constitution as the supreme law of the land. Parliament can only make laws that, like Congress. Congress can only make laws that is within the framework or consistent with the established laws of the Constitution. Congress now not get the power for make any law where I breach any section of the Constitution. That law will be stricken by the courts. So Professor Kutubu talked about various governmental agencies to make sure that a government is run properly. And let's start with the power of the people. That power, the people not realize the significance of it. So let's take America as an example of recent days, the Donald Trump situation. America, what's that we did? Mr. Trump embarked on a trip, so to speak, taking undue advantage of the extreme ignorance and racial bias of a lot of people. Say there was a vast number of people. Then Mr. Trump also was sure of the fact that most people not take into account the power where they get as the right to vote. People are not to go vote. So he don't calculate all that one day. And he engaged in this conduct where make, say, if young people are aroused, excited, then always go vote. And if they vote, he go win. The only thing we save America of late is the fact that the other side consistently keep reminding people we are heading down the cliff. If we now get this right to vote, we not vote, this man come back in power, it could be trouble for everybody. Never in the history of the United States had so many people voted for one man, let alone two people. Mr. Trump gets 72 million as he calculated, because say he supported and go support him. Because the power of the people, according to what Ms. Fatima say. And you know, say if you get the people behind you, you can get away with everything because that's the system. But lucky for America, the other side, for once, caught onto it, and then say go out and tell them supposed say, no, Sidona also, you get for day if na rain, sun, snow. If you not do that, and the other side, we're in trouble. So, in the first time in the history of America, somebody get 82 million votes. Never happened before. But think of the Joe Biden voters then. Suppose they not be realized the power of that one ballot they would then get. They all sit on a host. Mr. Trump will have won. And if he be win, we'll all not go get nothing for say, but for suffer the consequences of which they try to do. So this is the power. But how do people in Africa like Sierra Leone know that power there? Somebody get to take the time and explain to them. Now churches, now the mosque, now school, now the street, now and community conversation, neighborhood conversations, for me to know how powerful that one vote there can make a difference. It's almost like a trial lawyer where you try a case. When they give you opportunity for pick a jury, you just need to go, you say, well, these are educated people, I go explain the case to them, then go understand. No, they will not. I don't care how educated they be. You get for painstakingly go through each one of them people and they explain to them if they understand the significance of serving on the jury, if they understand the purpose of a jury, if they understand that the jury are the most powerful people in the court, they get more power than the judge, than the prosecutor, than the bailiff. If a jury finds you not guilty, you get to explain all of that to them. That in this setting, within the confines of this courtroom, you are as powerful as the judge, if not more powerful. You are as powerful as the prosecutor, if not more powerful. Anything we will not decide, the judge cannot overturn them. That's it. But if you don't make the jury understand that, they not go know which, and then you get for me to understand, say, you vote not for this one defendant. If you vote for acquittal, you don't vote for others who may be similarly situated. So you get to take the time. It's a constant process. So that's the reason why people don't understand. Now it makes still with get this problem where politicians and go and give people in one bag rest, then give people in one bag yabas, then they forget. But the other side now then for explain to them and break it down and let them know, say, if somebody can give you 1,000 bag rest safe, how long it will take you? If you get family of 10, ask them, break it down for them. Don't assume, say, they understand the ramification of the 1 bag, 2 bag rest of sugar what they get. This is the problem. Now, professor talk about the Constitution. The Constitution, as the professor say, is just awkwardly, forget about the substance in the Constitution. The procedural aspect of the Constitution is just dead wrong. And I've been saying, I like for, Dr. Abdullah Conte, them, these are eminent jurists and, we get very smart people in the country. I like for them to explain, why do they think that a constitutional issue not attached at the beginning, like this young man, for example, who was sacked at the bank? Why shouldn't he not be able to raise that issue there right from the beginning if he want to challenge the bank in right for firearm? Why shouldn't he not be able to claim an infringement on constitutional protection, on free speech rights? Or, why should he not be able to raise the issue of deprivation of due process? Why they write a constitution say the only time you will raise that issue then when you case reach the Supreme Court, which it may never get to? What kind of sense is that? What kind of, the whole thing is so lacking. It just not make any sense. Constitutional issue must be attached from the moment when somebody in right is abridged. So, without a doubt, we need to go back to the drawing board. That constitution, they need to be rewritten. And if we are going to be a constitutional democracy, we therefore begin to appreciate the fact that the Constitution is the supreme law, and Parliament not get the power for make any law where go violate any constitutional guarantee. And let me also explain to people, because we on Constitution, this is another reason why we need to go back and draw. There are lots of things now Constitution will not belong there. There are a lot of statutory stuff where not get for be in the Constitution, because Constitution are just a basic protection and limitation on the power of the people, on the power of the government, the limitation on the government and power not for abridge the power of the people. That, in essence, what the Constitution is when you cap and country Constitution, which in the government can do and not allowed to do, and our people should be protected. That's all it is. Anything else, a lot of elements could make what we call statutory.
So that is yes, sir. Mr. Shillon, to that point, democracy, we all the Allah, it's our rights, the democracy, we are practicing democracy. Is democracy attainable in the world, and is democracy real, or is just a thing that they put out there for just I don't know, because they say democracy, is it real, is it attainable? Can we able to reach that? We able to practice that? We able, when human beings are the most selfish people on earth, where power going to people, they bring the real self of humans out. Will they allow it? Is it attainable? That is my question. Now that the kinds of made right now.
Democracy comes in different forms. You get some democracy with lots of limitations. But for example, there are a lot of countries in Africa now we can cite as examples. You take like Ghana, that was once, going down so fast until they get a leader where kind of halts, the precipitation. But what did happen? Then they'll continue for Bilam, even to the point of the currency. If we remember, once upon a time, look, Australia now, the exchange rate, not to 1,000 something to $1. Ghana was just as bad until, and this is what education does, until the Bookman and Ghana come together and say, hey, the one they wait and then feel down and they come together, stop the downfall day, then stabilize the currency of Ghana. So what we on Bookman them? Where are we PhD them?
Well, that is a question for the longest time.
This is now one of the things. What we own them? Okay. So because it's about time Americans and say, put your money where your mouth is. If we say we land book, let we show say we land book. Because this paper certification on the wall, when they achieve anything productive, is getting to be ridiculous. Okay, I am a lawyer. I get 1 million proposal I can come up with for help Sierra Leone for improve the legal system. I don't have to work for the government, but if asked even for free, I can do it. Because I guarantee myself, I trust myself that much. I challenge the PhDs them, we get all them things and let them say the same thing. And when they get in this position, let them show we see they've made a big difference in the country in terms of progress. Okay, because this just doesn't make any sense. Now, Professor Kutubu talk about the other side of government. Now we got a court system that we seem to forget any power whatsoever. People, if you talk about disillusionment, frustration, disappointment, people then get that with the legal system. Because when you go broke somebody in house, where they sleep, and not get no recourse, he can't do anything. When you get a minister where they left in office, it take a gang of people them and policemen them where they on government payroll and army man them for go demolish property. That's lawlessness. There is no other way, because we have to have a process. You know? You cannot run a country that way and expect any good result, because unless the current government think they will be in power forever, what is the next government going to come and do? We don't see another go. What did happen in Australia? One government come, then do commission of inquiry, then seize homes and property. Another government come and give them back.
Yes, sir.
But make I say one last thing about the ACC commissioner.
Okay.
The ACC commissioner, without a doubt, is an extremely bright man. He has a great future in our country. If left with me, that the kind of people anyway you want to see end up at the Supreme Court of Sierra Leone one day. Because not only is he well qualified, he's a smart guy. And I like him in confidence. But we also get to deal with practicality here. Because the ACC law, now itself needs some ratification. When the ACC commissioner is appointed, the government not forget the power, the president forget the power for sack him without cause. If we want to get out of him, waiting would ask him for do. As long as the power there where the president go sack him, he can only go but so far. Because, I mean, we not get the thing is, we can push him all we want. But he ain't get enough sense for no say, if he do certain things, they can stop him tomorrow. Then watching we where the push him go achieve nothing. Then the president go appoint somebody, we go do what the president wants. So we therefore look at the practical aspect of that. You know?
So do we continue? Do we continue as citizens for do that stuff they do? That's why they say, is it this
change the law? We'll change the law. We'll change the law.
I mean,
there are three offices women think say we therefore look into. That of the Chief Justice, that of the Bank of and the Governor of the Bank of Sierra Leone, because the Governor of the Bank of Sierra Leone should be able to have the power to make modifications without regard to the finance minister or the president. But as long as those two people are controlling him, he not going to make any decision independent of them. You know, and then the ACC. I think the three offices they need some modification.
Because the ACC is anti-rights now, it get for do what it pleases the person we appoint into office, which is the executive. That is the thing that you're saying. But Mr. Kutubu, somebody made a comment. Wow, I want to make you can too, sir. Mr. Ajibu Tijan Jallo, he said, this is not correct, Mr. Kutubu. The chief minister is not responsible for the office of the first lady. He works directly with the president on government issues. The secretary is the secretary to the president is responsible for providing resources for running of the office, being that it is an extension of the office of the president, as you rightfully said earlier. This is Mr. Ajibu Jallo, and instead have been one of the insider by the former administration. So he said not to the chief minister involved, but the secretary to the president, because as you rightfully say, Mrs. Bioi office now an extension of the presidency office. Because the chief minister, we know say a lot of people get problem with in office because that was a job that was created. We have a vice president and we have a chief minister. When we don't talk on that, that's all big government. That is waste. That is waste. That's big government. That money there, whatever they pay that extra office day, then can put towards the betterment of the development of the country. But go ahead, Mr. Kutubu. I've been just
Mr. Ajibu Jallo, with all due respect, he get it wrong. He's getting it wrong. Under a given circumstance, he would have been right. Remember, the office of chief minister, and I make some of we be the question why you even get that office name. Because when we go back historically, as to in fact the origin of that office name, that office I think come out between 54, 56, now it come about. And would have been get that office name, as Samit, now been get that office name, where now in charge of the day-to-day operations of governance. They may call a chief minister, where now ministers are accountable to. Okay. Now, what do you try for tell Mr. Ajibu Jallo? The chief minister now, he get too much power inside the place as well. The chief minister for be able for make sure say, remember, the office of a first lady now an extension of the presidency, now an extension. That now Mr. Ajibu Jallo for make one. In lucky enough, him in the work with an administration where there are certain what they call laissez-faire. Perhaps the first lady will be there, he not be get this kind of a power where, or you know, be they exercise this kind of a power where they see where this lady. So therefore, who Mr. Koroma be get a chief minister, yes, be get a chief of staff where one controls to say on all things fine, they know. But because of the kind of power where the chief minister don't get, where he get, therefore you expect that he go be able to exercise some regulatory powers and over how things they go. This man not go talk say he not aware of the fact say monies are being, for example, they open a separate account for the chief minister and for the wife of the president. Mr. Ajibu Jallo no go tell me say the chief minister not aware of that. For later say, oh no, we cannot do this. All the finances of the country get for be centrally at economy, and whatever money we get for give these officers for not to money for even give. We for be able for furnish and waiting in it that this officer, but there should be no time when they open an account for the. It's just plainly wrong. It's just wrong. It's plainly wrong. And it's Mr. Ajibu Jallo telling me say the chief minister not aware of this, that they get an account where they open for that lady in another bank. Is it really genuinely telling me this? This is where the man is being held accountable for it. Yeah, so
and I think he said they tell you, I think he said that the responsibility, the chief minister go no, but it is the responsibility of the secretary to the president.
Fine, okay. That's what he
okay.
Why I go get a lily room? I'll get a lily room yonder. I go get a lily room, a lily maneuvering room. But like I tell you now, the chief minister, as they look at things, he can get more power, executive power, past even the vice president. The vice president only comes into the scene, perhaps on constitutional matters. But if you observe things now the chief minister now the face and voice of this administration, also front and center. So the fact of the matter, even like the crisis will take place at Bank of SALONE, we expect say a chief minister when they up to the job. Once on a while, you meet with them guy they also. You check what they go on. Because now you know the principal assistant to the in terms of how now the you know now the kind of executive function in the place. Now you they very close to the president. So so from time to time you check with them guy they ask what they happen so that you're able to properly advise the president and inform them as well. They can go back to this argument. Is Ajibu Jallo telling me that the chief minister not aware of the fact say Mrs. Biode operate a different account? For let he advise say, oh no, let advise the Minister of Finance say, no, we cannot do this. That everything what this lady need, he get for come off from this from the National Treasury. In fact, not only that, we not for even make like he get access to money. Now we for furnishing office, now we for make sure he get all this. So you cannot get the chief minister out of this. No, you cannot get him out of this. If you can forget the chief minister out of this, you might as well just abolish the post. That my argument, Nande, because of the kind of power where he gets. And in close proximity to the president. That's why I'm holding him accountable for this.
What is the duty of the chief minister for oversee all the other government minister them? Now in the
yes,
high
now in the chief overseer, the chief overseer. Now I go back to what me happened in the 50s. In the between 54, 56, that's where Sir Milton being there in charge of this officer. When they go back and see how the office been operate. Sir Milton was in that time we get the white people, they may still be there, they may still there when they work in. Sir Milton in charge of everything. Now in a virtually.
Okay, we don't lost Mr. Kutubu for a second. Let we go to this thing here. So when people come in office, like money, the people the money, we for go to the people them a lot of times
I will come back this one.
Okay.
Yeah,
a lot of times
I think
I think we should mute Kutubu. We're talking somewhere else. Are you with us, Professor?
Yeah, he's trying to come in.
Okay, trying to come in. But we don't see time after time after time. And I remember we let mayor of Freetown at one time, Akibobet. Alfred Akibobet, we get caller them on the line, but I just tell this story quick. We'll caller them. Because this now a voice important pass we own. But Akibobet we been mayor, one day, left us for him picking themselves way born. Because he was doing the job of the people. I know they say, they eat each, been they eat or I know go 100% take each bread for on that side. But he never built a house for himself where he passed on to a generation then. Yes, he never did that. Because I see now it is the trend of the government after government after government. As soon as the people come, the first thing when they want for building houses, they build mansions, they build houses. Who side the money they come out? Who side them money then they come out? All nadande Mr. Bar they put inside in some way. But let me take the caller them first. Caller, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. What's you name and what's you who side they call from, please? Now go to the caller first. Caller, can you?
Hello.
Go ahead. Give me your name, please, and where you call from.
How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. What's your name and who side you call from, please?
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I call from SALONE. I tell him.
Okay.
I didn't see to him.
Why we I
come in a bit late. But Salu from Fatima. From Fatima. It's a prophet. Yeah, I don't listen to the program, but I come in a bit late.
Okay, go ahead.
But I get the opportunity for listening to the audio when they play of
Okay.
The audio they play of the minister information minister that came. In the first place, may I talk on this part? The issue now about this, the press release what the commercial put out is that some many arguments that are the nation.
We're not getting him, Mr. Cab.
Yeah, okay. Can we tell him to hang up?
I know. Yeah, I know. Send our WhatsApp. Yeah, I know. Send our WhatsApp. My people, them, the WhatsApp line, and they out of the country where they call. Now Salone say they call from Kenema. I think he said, but the line is not clear, so we cannot continue for entertainment because they waiting and call any other person there. Good evening. What's your name and who's they call from? Okay, caller.
Good evening. Good morning. Morning. I am from Create. Mina Yusuf.
Okay, Mr. Yusuf, go ahead, please.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Can you get me?
Yusuf. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, as I say, Mina Yusuf and I Create. Please, what me want to say is actually Mr. Ben Kalfara, a man we all get confidence in, especially myself in particular. But this move, it don't take, actually, it also, we clearly say the end part of it, it don't give it a clear light. How somebody that will say this one don't make a point of corruption, you go compare the past, which is not the mandate of the ACC. If we go back to the video, Fatima will respond the first lady be respond to Chernobyl. We tell us if you want to investigate like journalism, you therefore compare 11 years of the past former lady and the 3 years. Automatically, what can happen after the interview and this end part, we can get 14 years of investigation. We Ben Kalafala Kawi and Umaru Kuna. It tell us clearly say, they're not the use them. The president in a possible way, they put the hand for any other thing in a man on his own. But this don't clearly associate that they use them because the forces cannot talk this. The investigation they go on. Now you don't can put the past 11 plus the 3 as 14 years. So this one don't clearly associate a remote. But we pray that we hear the track. We pray that it will go well. But we know say you can fool one people one time or some people sometimes, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. If you're not careful, this gap will be the end. Now this gap will be the disgrace of the whole government. We wish this one will go good for the people of Sierra Leone. I thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my brother Yusuf. Thank you very much. Another caller. Good evening, caller. Name and no side they call from, please.
Oh.
Yes, go ahead, caller.
Yeah, once more, salute. Salute. I'll tell him about my 2 seconds. Yeah. I hope the line clear now.
Very clear now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello?
Go ahead, sir.
Oh, okay, thank you very much.
Ahead.
Yeah, I'll be the user of a cell line. You can be the listening all right through this wire. But now use the line, I also be listening. Just like how they say, the principles of anti-corruption, the also misconception between the public. That one anti-corruption for say, for go investigate the past first ladies. Now come to the issue. The issue about people that get in this country, I say, why the first lady don't support forget public fund, that you don't forget money from the consolidated fund. These are the arguments. So anti-corruption in president is very clear. They say they look into money where they don't pay at the office of the first lady and they spend this money there. Now, for me, anti-corruption said this is the basis. They will go back into previous payment to first ladies, how they pay them money there. This is welcome news, because if we don't know how the payment will go, then we'll come to the current one. We will not understand the whole issue. Don't forget, say anti-corruption self, not only they get power for investigate, but at the same time they can advise and recommend, do recommendation. Maybe if they go through the payment of the previous first lady, come to this current, that way issue come out, they will recommend to the government what they for to do. They don't do it before. So maybe on that basis they do. So let's wait and see what the anti-corruption will come out from this investigation. Yeah. But people they so jittery about the investigation of the former first ladies. Unfortunately, why people for jittery? Anti-corruption will say they don't for investigate the first lady, the current first lady. They say they do the both present and past. So let's wait and see what will come out of that. Now this will be patient and see what will come out of her. Of course, the other report then they come up for and ask her. They say if you don't get concerned about the current allegation, they say get concerned over that. But they won't go back and see what will be happy. How did they get money? Now, if you watch at the information minister, in quote one particular section, that the 2016 Public Financial Management Act, that the finance minister, there's one particular act where they get power for say, when a section 39(1), for say, there's a particular section that talks say, the finance minister get power for allocate 1% of the approved budget to a public interest area. And the information minister go further for talk say, the first lady go on the priority government flagship program, like the House of Our Gas. It is possible to say this money when they talk about this 1%, then be not used for doing the flagship program there. And according to the information minister, it said that money they be legally disposed to the office of the first lady. So let's wait and see what will come out. The issue of Chernobyl, I don't want to talk about it. And the information minister not still talk about Chernobyl. Because Chernobyl, as far as we're concerned, if you get evidence, that's SALONE, may forward that to anti-corruption. But if government continue for talk on Chernobyl, it will make an issue. And Chernobyl is not an issue. Because people go talk say, Mother be not give social money to SAPP, Jama, that kind of Dismissal. I go talk about the no evidence. So Chernobyl go talks also something, then come with evidence to anti-corruption and SALONE. So that you to government. I mean, I got this way. Rados will not be reactor at all. And if we're going to take it, not to channel by talk. A talk because Masala someone be there on that very day. That program this thing. It Masala.
Okay, sorry, my brother, you get 3 minutes and it's not up. But my brother don't make some points them way make sense to like I said, this is not voice of Salone at the view of everybody in view, where they neutralize everything. That is how he sees it. He don't explain until we now take another caller. Caller evening, please. Who started the call from which?
Hello?
Yes, caller, good evening. What's your name? Who started the call from?
Yeah, this is Mike. I call from Philadelphia.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just want to say is I think Ben Kefala is not competent enough to do the job, because if we look back for all the thing they will come up with as the corruption, he did defend them all, They come up with the generator from the audit report, he defend the people that would up with the generator. Then come up with the laptop, he defend the people that with the laptop. So many of us say Ben Kefala competent for the job. If Ben Kefala say you want to go back 14 years, that's fine. Let's go back 14 years. But how long it will take before you get to the one they will do right now? How long it will take? How long would they wait for? How long will they for wait? And then they get for tell we for. If the first lady say, all right, Madam Sia been take money, okay, fine. How come they don't find out than they from the forensic report? How come the forensic report missed that one day? And then they will wonder how they missed that one day. If that is not true, if that's true, how they miss them? And the people who do the report, the forensic report, they're competent enough for miss that. How they miss that one day? If that's true, then Kefala, me, I don't feel, because the problem is, the president ain't pick him, the president ain't select him, So the conflict of interest then I have to, they're able to do in job, and you're not competent enough to do the job itself, So the whole corruption thing, me, if I'm not being careful, they quit or resign or let them fire him because you're not going to be able to do this job here. They go just they drag on, then they pull way along. They pull way along, One with people and they suffer now the country. Right now, lights no day. What's our business problem? Good roads is a problem. They just they promise we for every different thing. They promise we. They say no, they do their job. I don't know. I don't understand. What do they come for? What do they come for? Now, can't change the people in life, or for now, can't fight the past administration, or what do they come for? Really, nobody really condone corruption. Corruption is very bad for the country, but let them do their job at the same time when they fight the corruption. They don't do that one day. I really lose hope on President Bio. I hope they will begin to do something because time not late, and I know they do nothing. I mean, a contribution, I don't know.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Next caller, please. What's your name? Who say the call from? Okay. Let we hold on to the call then first. Let we go back to the topic. We don't you with brother and sister, brother they don't call. Everybody don't get inside. Everybody, because this is why we are here, for let everybody defend inside. But the thing is, we're searching for the truth, and we get for speak truth to power for let the country go before. Salone get for go before. Salone must go before, and these are the conversations we must have. Because the people are tired, the people they don't burn out, the people, I don't know if you get Mr. Shillon, you get any respond or anything where you want say to the callers, we don't say or for add or take away from waiting the caller then say, and then we go to, like I say, Vicky Omo in case, in the case of Vicky
Okay.
Omo.
Now, the gentleman we call from Kenema, to me, in point is well taken, and I like his approach. But he say Chernobyl, that Australian is free for say anything, you not get for come up with evidence. That is not correct. a responsible, maybe I didn't misquote him, and if I am, I'm sorry. A responsible journalist forgets in reporting based in fact. He forgets solid
I
facts.
not cut you what sir. Hold on 1 second. The technical team, when Mr. Shilon they talk, please post some of the stuff that I sent you that Mr. Ba came up with in facts them way come up with and the evidence the way present. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So
Go ahead, Mr. Shilon.
and so Mr. Ba, because I don't see you said and they say Mr. Ba no get evidence. So I want to let people understand what in evidence. Evidence is the layman way in a proof. And the court evidence as it is construed in the court is quite different from evidence outside the court. When a journalist writes an article, he cites dates, he cites place, he cites names, he cites figures, he gives account numbers, he shows signature, he shows copy of a document. Those are all evidence. When they say get evidence, what else do they want him to come with? Now the evidence that they are based in reporting on. The other side will disagree with him, and then get for come with something for rebut or refute or disagree with what the industry say for say that checking account they no exist. That signature they not false. Oh, and on and on and on. But somebody will come up with all that amount of information they want to say, oh, you're not got no evidence. And the other thing what we have to be careful about, again, as I told Mr. Ali 1 week ago when we meet, the media is a vital part of a democracy. No democracy will flourish without an active media. The ACC commissioner like Ben Kelfana can only do so much and can only do within the mandate way Parliament give him. You know, he cannot chase every lead like a journalist can. You know, so Ben Kelfala, even if he had heard about the First Lady in use or misuse of money, may have felt, you know what, in time. But that's what you have good, responsible journalists them for around. We begin to appreciate good journalism. And we begin to condemn journalists who are paid to be silent. When you get certain facts at your disposal, and then somebody calls you and pay you, and then you keep quiet, you're in the wrong field. It's almost like a judge who takes a bribe. You're not getting the business for being a judge or a referee. Where they take a bribe? Or a team captain, where they take a bribe for sell game. You know? So, me don't know Mr. Ba. But all I'm telling people, I mean, we all get we own intelligence for assess credibility. Does this reporting reflect just something we just made up? And I don't think we do ourselves any favor if we decide for curse and threaten. I mean, how does that help the country? We're all talking about what is good for Sierra Leone. Okay, now I'm not in agreement with, I mean, I think say the First Lady involved in there. The process is what coming out, so the government can stop that practice. If other previous First Ladies they may not do that, it was wrong, just as wrong. That should be brought out. That should be condemned, you know, and the system should be improved. So First Ladies, they're not going to get access to money. And when they get the access, then for be able for account. Because there are certain things that Mr. Bain reports. You cannot buy furniture or furnishings for any particular office, ministerial or otherwise, every time. So there are a lot of things. So we need for just, if we care about our country, when somebody come up, they point out irregularities, they respond not to for cause harm or threaten them. Now for see if it genuinely they tell the truth. But if we believe, say, we you know SAPP can do no wrong, because I've seen it demonstrated. And then, but all the wrong that APC they do them. Then when APC come, APC can do no wrong, all the wrong that SAPP, we are not going anywhere. Because this is a very short-sighted way for look at holistically which is good for the country. So many try for tell people them, put aside regional difference. Not say, oh, I come on McKinney and that's not my brother. No, it's not your brother. He's not looking out for you. Okay? Not say I come out Bont or put you on the street, Bio, na my brother, or me, I mean, no, these are all nonsense. You first order of business, you are Australian, regardless of whose partner the country. You know, when something, if something good for Pujeon, it's good for Sierra Leone. The diamonds the way they come on a Kono, na Chongo field. Now for those people in a Kononomo, now for those people in a Chongo field. So what you make we think say when everything, well, I go both school, so now we in a power. That's foolish talk. Not to both school in a power. Now Bio who went to both school now in a power. If we all begin to forget this narrow view of this tribal thing, and I use tribal not in the sense of tribalism, but tribal in the sense of group, just grouping. We get for stop then talk there. Now we get power now. Who is we? The we can only stop at party politics, say now we APC, now we SAPP. But you can't begin talk saying now we the Limbad and get power, now we the Creole and get power, now we the we have to be very careful watching a we, or now we the grammar school boy and get power. No. So me don't think with Ben Kelfala, would they expect too much from Ben Kelfala? He not get that power day like we think say it gets. And even if it does, practically speaking, and we have to be careful. Okay, let's say we wish come through, Ben Kelfala come out. Do we have any prospective candidates who think they could do better than Ben? I don't know. Maybe there are a bunch of people in Australia who will do a fantastic job. And it's the same thing I'm saying. As much as I disagree with a lot of things SAPP to do, but do we have a viable alternative? If APC lost election next year, APC come, is APC going to do any better based upon the record? Is that what we're wishing? And Americans, like you said, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for, because APC has a lengthy record of not being just as bad, if not worse. So let's criticize. Let's bring up these things. Let's wish, and let open the minds of some of them guys who didn't have power. Let them know say they are heading in the wrong direction because they're not helping the country. But
and that was one of the frustration. Sorry, sir. Yeah. That was one of the.
And I am very frustrated in that sense because I'm looking at SAPP now. I'm saying, my God, if they lose election next year, APC is not a better alternative at all. I mean, I'm just being as straightforward as I can be, because they get a record. We just see the deliberate, not incompetence. These guys are not incompetent guys. They are just uncaring. They don't care about the country. They just care about themselves. The APC guys, the SAPP guys, they get the education. They get the sense. They know right from wrong. But the love for country is secondary.
That is the catch right there.
This is the problem we get with both parties. This is the problem we get. And this is what we should address. So it's not enough. It's not enough to just vex Pambio. I mean, as if APC come. I don't know much about Samura Kamara, but if we don't have this illusion that if APC can have power, they're going to straighten out everything. Wait, where's the evidence of that? APC don't rule Australia for more than half of the period of post-independence. And all we economy begin to go bad under Pashaki. The man was so reckless and
we have to
uncaring.
choose.
You know,
We have to
so
choose of lesser of
so
two
we can
evils.
criticize, but let we criticize with balance. You know, I mean, Ben Kefala, even in this sense, the first lady, in the grander scheme of things, it's a smaller fish to fry when you consider all within the OIC and the COI. I mean, Commission of Inquiry, then come up with. You know, we've collected just $2 point something million or something. That's all. Was it even worth the hassle? If that's all we're going to do, government can raise that in taxes in one day. You know. So
Yeah, that's
these are
why
the things
they don't get this commission of inquiry, all this money where they get.
Yes,
But President Bill
look at
President Bill say, I don't want to put them in jail. We just want our money back. We don't want to put them in jail. They're all not thief man, but we don't want to put them in jail. We just want our money back. But 30 then at
look.
2.4 or something. I've been getting one of them briefing where they do say now that money they don't get with all the bank we don't give them 2 million. Then somebody else, I think they don't get, somebody else go loan them whatever million, so they don't get about 6 million that they try for build this wonderful masterpiece state-of-the-art health center. We go benefit we all in a salon. But how will they reach to the money where they need for bill and now they don't fashion first we're not able to do. And Professor, you did it, you quiet. You don't hear, we can go to Vicky Romo on side. What you want to add? Let we go to Vicky Romo because we have people that speak, then they go silent. And Vicky Romo, they don't accuse them of selling out, of selling game, but it come out, he explained you, but Professor, I don't know if you want to add quick. Let we go to Vicky. What you want to add, Pawi? You did it? Kutubu did it? Okay. We're not there yet. Okay. Well, let we go to Vicky. Let we go to Vicky because the struggle continues unabated. But we get hope. That's why we're here. We get hope. We bring the thing then because then can say with the change government after government, it is not the government or the party not the problem. It is the people in the party, the people they put inside. And one of the biggest thing then back we'll get for talk on are the permanent secretary because they want them they back now the council of Sierra Leone because they're the ones that sign those checks. But the ministry them and all that thing. But another can listen to his sister, Vicky. Vicky, a journalist, she's young, Sierra Leonean. If they talk on issues, then all of a sudden she decided to look the other way. He call her apathy. When change we don't know the dismissal of the bank employee. We're on Vicky Romo. So please change the title over. Vicky say then call them apathy. Apathy is you tire. When you don't talk, you just gains, you give up. You tire for talk. That's why we young people them long term them they say how for do God day because they not able to do nothing again. They don't talk, they don't make they don't see no hope because you they talk, you they waiting and call and who that you they fed for not able fed for himself. Who that you they fed for, you go call them, say, Una come, now we can't do this, now we can't do it, they come. So who that they take bullets, where then they talk like, what's in China about do so? People then they say it's safe because now America, if na free choice been there, they don't quit some. If na free choice been there, they don't do this, they don't do that. Who that go come out now, when we all the China about right now for what they do for investigative journalists, if not being free tongue been there, will he have the courage to come out with all these findings? And at the same time, if they go Olam unlawfully, who that say come out na do na then they Vicky Romo point. Some people they say, oh, you make like you're a victim. But let we listen to his sister. Let we listen to in your frustration and in your side of the story why she goes silent and other people let it go silent. When I listen to Vicky, please.
Because me where I see Pastor talk. So right now I have to really control myself. It is not because I love SLPP. No, it is because my public, the individuals who should be invested in my protection and protecting the work that I do, are not. They're not. And I'm also a human being, and I have a responsibility to myself to protect myself. Because my community doesn't protect me. Because the community doesn't protect Asma. The community doesn't protect Umaru. We all then so we get for balance the work we they do or the work they will. I mean difference because me. No, it's not speak as long as it is the truth. You have to say, do the people that I work. I mean, if I talk, it's only ever going to be the truth. But sometimes they are not a talk. Because I'm like, people are not ready for the truth of this conversation. People are not ready for the truth of this conversation. And I will say now, the truth of the conversation is this. Sierra Leoneans don't mind if our politicians or their wives steal from government, because they hope that when they go to Konani to those people will give them the money they've stolen. That is why there's no accountability. And that is why no matter how much they make, first lady, the line to her office will continue to grow, because Sierra Leoneans want patronage. They won't forget that pussy when they go to, when I in no more, then go talk to, it just fully give them. You understand? The reason why private individuals and corporate companies wrote checks of $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 for sponsor Hands Off Our Girls, not so because organizations they're not doing a SALONE where he's prior to 2018 been done already. They work on protecting girls and women, not so because civil society activists, gender activists and feminist activists are not been done doing a SALONE where they protect girl picking, where they do this work. That is not why. The reason why is because businesses want to have a relationship with the First Lady. They want the First Lady to be their patron so they can access power. Proximity to power for some people is power. That is why it continues. People want that. We have a ministry of gender. We have a ministry of child affairs. People could also have gone to those ministries and make a pledge annually to say, because we care about girls and women, we are going to finance this every year. We're putting down 10% of our profits, and we're going to make sure that every year we're going to send you this money. They could have identified non-profit organizations like Rainbow and A Girl at a Time, Girls Empowered, I mean, them boku, not to today. We did not have like an absence of girls organizations in Sierra Leone or girls leaders. You understand? 50-50 group day. Those organizations always struggle to get money to do the work. There's Amazonian Initiative. The organization, then the frontline activists, then we blants, they do this work. They're still doing the work. But individuals and businesses don't want to fund them because not to the work they care about, it's not the patronage. So me not vex man if they go take the money, then go give, because now that's their want. Now it's like that's what they want. So let us the team where you not go catch me pan a hypocrisy. The team where you not go catch me pan a hypocrisy. Nobody no go there will tell me say from where they announce Hands Up for Our Girls. They thought that the money that was being spent was private money. That the money that was being spent was private money from President Bio and his wife. That the money that they had previously saved was their private money that they were spending on Hands Up for Girls. If anybody say that's na lie, they lie. Every Sierra Leonean of a certain age, we get brain, be always know from the beginning. We did not need, let nobody know fit to say that we need reporting, that we need bank accounts. It is a lie. None of you needed that. You knew from the very first day. From inauguration, self una be know waiting they happen at this country, waiting like the platform. From when they launched Hands Off Our Girls, you knew where the money was coming from. You knew. From where First Lady and President Bio launched their foundation, you knew where the money was coming from. All of you knew. Everybody knew. From where AfriCell been they take First Lady, then they go around for go do Hands Off Our Girls across the country. You knew where the money was coming from. When First Lady and President Bio were having their children's dinner or breakfast at State House, you knew where the money was coming from. You always knew where the money was coming from. Just like you always knew where the money was coming from during APC when everybody was having many, many houses. You knew where the money was coming from when the streets were littered with Range Rovers. You knew. Like, nobody. Like, let us not be like... The thing we should not do is be hypocrites with ourselves. Inside to we self. I don't know about what they're talking at BBC or whatever, but waiting we they talk to we self. Let us be honest. As Sierra Leoneans, we believe that it is okay for people in government to take what they can when they are there to do what they want. The only reason why we they talk about ACC and accountability and transparency now because the waitsman the way they give him money. The waitsman, the way they give him money, vex. Then vex say, we're not going to go now this money. We're not going to see better. Then they come back. So, we need to be transparent and accountable. So, we set up ACC and we set up this, like, how can we show them that we are being accountable while not being accountable? Okay? That is what we do. So we play the game. So let nobody, please. I don't want, like, I'm not even wasting my time. I'm not even going to waste my time. Chinese embassy make donation, 50 computer, then go give First Lady office. Let nobody, like, please, like, what I don't have time for and patience for, everybody knows what is going on in Sierra Leone because we're all Sierra Leoneans, not to planet with Senko. We all know. You don't even need Africanese press. You don't need Cherno. Though I think what he's doing is good because maybe people don't know the scale. Like una don't know this scale. But this scale is not a new scale. This is how our government has been run for like the last, for the last 15, 20 years. This is how government leaders behave. And we allow them. You go see person before in getting office, before he get the appointment. You see how they are living. You see how they're living, and you know what happens to them after they get these jobs. And also for say for be minister, now like for be parliamentarian in Kenya, where you can make like millions of dollars. No, legitimately because they don't give themselves that raise. No, to be a minister in Sierra Leone is to be a very poor paid person. No minister not in a salon where in salary even reach $3,000 a month. No minister. And I'm inflating it even. No minister. So why should they have Range Rovers? Where are they getting the money from? You know, like, let us not be hypocrites. And let's not waste anybody. Let's not waste our time. Let us be realists with each other that, yes, we, for our own culture, we don't accept, say, it's okay for people to take what they can when they can. Let me accept that. But then let me also accept, say, we get for pretend like for say not to so we turn. So the waitsman go continue for giving money. So we go continue for spending money how we want. Because that's how our country is run. There is no desire to stop public waste. In fact, there is a commitment. The way we government and we government officials then commit for waste money. The way we then committed. The way they committed, them very, very, very committed for spend government money carelessly. Like it's their job. How can we waste the money? So please, when things are happening in Sierra Leone, don't be coming and attacking us for not talking. Okay? Because when we talk now, first one, they begin cause we back. And after a while, you push people to apathy. Where they say, no to me business, let me mind my business. And that's what happened. And you know what happened? When people like Asma, like people like Umar, Umar ain't not going to ever stop because until he gets BBC or whatever, they always kind of he's okay. But for those of us who don't have large international organizations, media organizations who have our back, right? When people who are in the media, the middle ground, your civil society activists, somebody like Asma, the people who work at AYV, Lamrana, when people like us stop talking, when the middle ground stops being engaged, the middle ground, I'm not talking about the rights ground. It's not that we're right, but we're the middle ground. We're the ones who can say left, APC and SLPP, good and bad. We can actually be objective and accountable in how we see things. When you push people in the middle, right? Your public facing intellectuals, right? The people who seek truth, the people who speak truth. When you push them, they stop being engaged. They say no to them business. And when that falls apart, all you have is extremists. Ethnic extremists, tribal extremists, regional extremists, and political extremists. And I don't want anyone to think that Sierra Leone cannot descend into civil war again. It would be the biggest mistake that you would make. If you think that because we had a civil war and it took 10 years and we came out of it and we're here now, that we would never descend back into that, you're actually making a mistake. We can go back there. Everything that used to happen before we went into civil war, we are there now. We are there now. And it is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to engage with governments. You have a job as a citizen. Wetin be na SALONE na you job. Wetin be na SALONE na you job for follow and through, forget the right fact. For ask the question is, if this thing don't be, who that responsible we're not doing job? But the level of citizenship that most people want is very lazy. You always something be, you just turn, when I know they talk, then you dey inside us. Who's gonna take the bullets for you? Now people are sending all kinds of voice notes all over the place. We don't actually have national leaders in Sierra Leone, let's be honest. We don't have national leaders. But the people who could potentially maybe not be our national leaders, but help us find middle ground for national unity and national identity. They are artists, they're creatives, they're musicians, they're writers, they're media people. We are the middle ground. Yes, amongst us, there are people who are like pro SLPP, pro APC. Yes, because we're all human beings. But we need to get out of this thing where you attack the people in the middle because you not like what they go say. If anybody's been following me on social media, you know that I am less and less engaged with what's going on in Sierra Leone. I talk less. I don't engage. In fact, if now it cost me, I just say, God bless you. I don't even engage anymore. I might write on my blog, but I don't engage. Because you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it to engage on national issues when people come back at you, they attack you. They attack you. So if you love your country, if you really, really love your country, seriously, you have to make sure that the people who are doing the work in the middle, that space is protected. And also, stop being a hypocrite. Stop being a hypocrite, because you know where the money comes.
Well, another Vicky Omo, now we sister, she's a journalist, na Sierra Leone born, because somebody they asked, lady, Usa you come, Usa you born this, that she's a Sierra Leonean. Na Sierra Leone raised, he born, he can America, he can land book, he go back na SALONE, he get passion for SALONE. He go back, you know, even be America citizen, he just get green card. He go back in country for give back, you know, during the APC. I know she was one of the diaspora people that we go back and all. You know, they do your own thing. Right now, it don't go back na Ghana. I've been there in Sierra Leone, but it don't go back na Ghana because, you know, mama been dead and all that. It don't go back na Ghana when he say tire. And Bokwara people, they don't go silent, they don't tire because of the fear of the one them where they what we they talk, then they cost where they make so, but they not they see the picture because they're not so blinded with that tribal regional party kind of way. They don't see it. Even if you bring it into them, you put on there, they're not they see it. And it is sad How we go before? That's why I keep asking, are we ready? How we get for win we said, because we have been conditioned to this kind of behavior. We have been conditioned. We minds and polluted and conditioned. Even when we know it is good for us, we rather support what is wrong just for be accepted on the other side of or to your group or your people or be popular. We don't have the courage to stand alone to fight injustice, to stand alone, to speak truth to power. We don't have, and people get tired after a while. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, you get drained. You get tired. You get tired. And some people are attacking her. That she's a hypocrite, she did not say. But she is giving us the reason, and we are not even hearing it. We don't want for hear what they say right now. Mr. Shilo made a point the other day, we say, even when a person kills somebody, that's why the courts therefore find out why he killed, what he provoke, why he kill, what he makes so. He get it where they call him per law. For say she is not a bad person or he is not a bad person, but was he provoked? What is the reason, or does he have mental? What is the reason where he get for go? Her father was locked up. In Papa, now one of the APC people that would have been locked up. They lock her up with them people then for that constituency 110 where they go take advantage by people, then they lock them up for nothing. Her father was there. She could even talk. He said, I not even they talk. I just waiting and call them. You know, Mr. Shino, I pass on to you, sir.
Well, I mean, the woman in videos says it all. Because you see how the system works. Companies that donate are not doing it for humanitarian reason, but for get contact to power. So the hands of our girls who they talk about, the real interest, not to the girls, the real interest for get access to power. Well, you know, I mean, there's nothing the young lady said, because even Mrs. can wonder, and what would they talk again for? Avoid corruption. We'll go for reassess income based in Africa, you know, because we have to pay with police, with politicians, with judges, with lawyers, we get the ordinary person, you know, they all have to be paid well if we want to stamp out corruption, not to investigation, not to stamp out corruption. What you would need for do now for restructure the economic situation of the country, and then we see what it take for the ordinary person all the way up to the top, you know, because if you pay a parliamentarian $2,000 a month, and in life, and it average cost of living now 3,000 or 4,000, it will be corrupt. If you pay the police chief $1,000 a month, and because of his stature in society, if we take at the very least $1,500 a month, it will be corrupt. So we have to pay attention to all these things, you know. But last but not least, my anger sometimes, or discontentment with brothers them, just like how Vicky say, if they not pay a minister $3,000 a month, I mean, a very gutsy of you, the minister, for after 1 year, now your office, you build not one house, 2, 3 houses at the same time, as if people are stupid. I mean, the audacity of trying to build that many houses at one time, as if people don't know, say, you're not getting paid that much, so where are you getting the money from to build 2, 3 houses at the same time? We're going to stop all that in there. Even if you're the chief, for God's sake, wait till you're out of power, you know, but our brothers can't even wait. So I agree with Ms. Ramon. In video says it all, and we just get to strive towards that. And for those who think saying for attack and curse, well, somebody need for proof to anything to me. When you curse a critic, how does that help Sierra Leone? Show me one instance in which way you curse somebody or threaten somebody, Sierra Leone is helped. At the end of the day, you were to do the cursing, you probably not make enough for help yourself. If you're sick, cost no go pay you medical bill. If you begin one go school, cost for cost somebody no go pay you medical. So we need to be a little smarter. You know, not to go out there to go cost people and for them politicians, they will become very, very rich. Politicians, they win one moment, they don't get anything. 1 year later, they want millions. And you there to the cost for living on the edge. So that's all I have to say. You may be muted.
Kutubu not there right now. I guess we don't lose him again. So yeah, we don't need that. Okay. So we don't hear we don't talk every day. We dey talk every day. We dey talk. Free tongue inside free tongue. The one that we been they upline, we born upline, where they upline. They all don't can sit on a free tongue from after that war. Then try for do rehabilitation, then try for do all this whatever. It no work. All man don't can sit on a free tongue work no day. Nobody no one do the work again because sometimes we don't become lazy. It's like say free tongue now the America of Sierra Leone. Free tongue, where you dey free tongue now the America of Sierra Leone. Therefore do better. We get for go back to we papa them village Mr. Roland Touré. We don't see the work where they do. One man with the help of people they all around, they donate and give plus the music where they play. He come up with a dream, he gets an idea and he actualize it and make it happen. He go there. They do. Many other Sierra Leoneans are doing the same thing. But we get for develop them village then they for let we not able pan government because when we able pan the politician them, that's why we they look the other way. Waiting bill it's like we and then at them mots them. Therefore, we cannot speak when we see right. Wrong, I mean. We cannot speak when we see wrong because now we able then dandy. It is sad. We for come up at dandy now. It don't take. Excuse me. 60 years we don't depend this. 60 years we depend ton. 60 years we government and they round with and those they buffoon with the full we they pull close for fetch for them. We see the fire they want to be that they slum. People then they inside slum, people that they sleep not it. Especially the city of Freetown overcrowded and congested. There's no growth. We just say no more. Then they go make a fianda. I put the bandage under. I put the bandage under the sofuti under. The sofuts they inside they cook. We don't they spread the thing just they spread. Then they go come on. I mean the first for do this. Oh, then they go come and me do this. Everything everybody want get the praise for the people. The people then are then put on they get for do the work of the people. President Bio is somebody because of the military background. I am expecting much from him because he call himself brigadier general. Military, we get discipline and they train we for be disciplined. But sometimes I say to him, Mr. President, sir, what do you do? Come out and be the leader of the country. Things are going wrong. People and they complain. Times are hard. The country they had right now na gas then they queue for gas down there. When I don't pull the subsidy because the wait man say let we pull let we make so. But sometimes the Western own ideology not good for we because we get for know waiting good for we young people there. For make we people their life improve. We get for go back to the drawing board. One of we sister from England, we been called one time. He said we have to go back to the drawing board. We get for go see them. Who say we wrong? Who say we don't make mistake? If we don't know we mistake, then we're not gonna go forward because we continue to repeat them, and we are doomed. Sierra Leone, a beautiful country, beautiful country. We go come next week. So by God power, we go can't continue this conversation because I've been asked in the beginning of this year. I said, what do you have in your hand? For go help for change Sierra Leone. For go help for see make Sierra Leone be the country where you want for let be. For let be, who say you then at the diaspora or who say you there for let Sierra Leone get that same waiting and call day or compare able for team up and compare. What do you have in your hand? When Moses, God sent him for go to Pharaoh, he say, hey God, what you do? They can't send me. I not get nothing for go fed Pharaoh. And then God say, what do you have in your hand, Pharaoh? What in Pharaoh be gets a stick, walking stick, big one. Now he lead. He speak to the speak, he cross the sea, says the Bible is all allegorical. But that is you can apply that to any principle of life. That's why it's allegorical. There are stories that have been told so that you go apply into situations of your life. For take the doubt away, take the fear away. And what do you have in your hand? What's in your contribution for help for bring the country to the conditions and services where you want to see? You know? So we the left now, we the go. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Today is a day of love. Go enjoy your loved one. Go forgive your loved one. Make a phone call. Go plant, because when you plant love, you get love. When you plant peace, you get peace. When you plant trouble and turmoil, be that good farmer. Outside the weed they grow, where for can suffocate the good one them. Let you able for pull and come out, they do and come out. That's what a good farmer does. So till next week, I get a video I be make a couple of years ago while I left now with is Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day now for lovers, but I be make for motivate with women them once upon a time. So I go left now till next week. If una see how they shine, jealous me or go work on you. Tomorrow the sun will shine by you, the cloud over me. So I love you all, and remember, God is love. Go make a difference. Go light somebody's world. Go speak kind words. Let me watch what they say, because the words I watch a Salone Force, a guy went in Salone Force. He talk and say the words that we say. We are the media. We are doing everything. Every word where we they talk or everything that happens is a lesson. There is a lesson in it. What till we get out of that lesson there? What till we get out of we experience? How do we put it for change humanity, for make mankind? Because the white of Sierra Leone, the white pan Sierra Leone means a peace. Now peace. The green now for we vegetation and for we mountain. We mountain them where the pet go that seem to be the car inside. You see the green pastures and you see the mountain lying there. The white is for the peace, for join the world. Say we all depend peace, we all na brother and sister, we depend our world. And the blue is for we wonderful and unique Atlantic Ocean, where we did at the coastline of Sierra Leone, where we get the best of nature. Green, white, and blue. That's what it stands for. Unale we come together. Unale we all together. Yes, we're not going to agree all the time, but for most time we can come together for the good of the country. So till next week, I left on God and God bless we all. God keep we all from this trouble within the world. God bless we leader and give them wisdom. May they walk in wisdom for able to guide the people of Sierra Leone. Because the people of Sierra Leone, they don't cry, they don't tire for their pampo. Let we give them dignity back. Let them give them dignity back. So till next week, I love you all. Remember, God is love. I left now with my Valentine message, and I enjoy Fatima, Mr. Shilon. If you get anything for say bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good night, everybody. Hope we enjoyed the show. Looking forward to talking to you next week. Good night.
It's Valentine's Day. It's your girl Fatima sending you some love. Love from Texas. A big hug. Today is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's. This is a special day set aside for lovers, right? Y'all better make sure you let that loved one know that they appreciate it and they're special. But then that special someone, yes. So what is the girl to do? I got some tips for you, darling. Love yourself. Love yourself and wait on God to fix it. Because when God fixes it, hey, hallelujah. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. You won't be looking and he come looking for you. Hey. It comes looking for you, knocking on your door, looking for you. So wait. Respect yourself. Don't settle. Know that you're forever fabulous and special. You gotta love yourself, people. Love yourself first. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't give love. Yes. You can't fix nobody. So don't settle for any kind of man. Me granny ki say, that head will come for tot kaka. If you fashion for epa, you self go tot kaka lekam. So don't settle for anything. Let it go. You don't need that. You don't need that. You need somebody to compliment you. You gotta be on your level or higher. Higher than you. Going places, doing things. Yes. Remember that, ladies. Don't settle for anything. Oh no, don't settle. It will come, trust me. I'm not an expert, but I'm just speaking from experience. Don't be a side chick. Don't be that accessory in the closet there they only take out seasonally. No. Better than that, girl. I'm feeling myself right now. Woo. Yeah. That's a nice song.